Make it clear that from this point on, it's okay to laugh. And please do, because I do try and crack the odd gag in my regular presentations, and it does seem that a lot of people are a bit too afraid to laugh because it sounds funny, but they're not quite sure whether it's appropriate to laugh. So from this point on, it is. And if you hear something funny, please do, and if you don't, I'll simply be playing this, which doesn't work, and isn't very funny. So either way, I win. And to set the tone, we've got this quote here attributed to Voltaire. God is a comedian playing to an audience that is too afraid to laugh. And what inspired me to want to do this routine is simply the observation of how utterly absurd and ridiculous life is, right? I mean, at some point in early childhood, we become vaguely aware of the fact that we exist, and we're in this place that we call the world. But from that point on, we're just left to make the best of it. We're stumbling around in the dark with no guidebook, no manual, nobody really knows where they came from, what this place is, who or what entity created it, to what end, with what motives, what happens when we leave it, what here actually is. Many people will claim to have all the answers. Many people claim to have the guidebook, the manual, this religious text, that holy book. But the trouble is, you'll get one man saying, I've got all the answers, got it all figured out, it's right here in the pages of this book. Then the next guy will say, no, 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 you're wrong. My book has all the answers. Then a third guy will say, you're both wrong. My book has all the answers. You're charlatans. And somehow you're supposed to make sense of all of this. Somehow you're supposed to be able to navigate your way through this ridiculous, absurd experience that we call life without any kind of guidance whatsoever. So, life is ridiculous, and that's why I often describe it as a Monty Python sketch gone live. The trouble is, nobody thought to tell us that we're extras in the sketch, and none of us remember signing a contract and agreeing to take part. So I often expect that cartoon foot from the opening titles of Monty Python to come down out of the sky and start squashing people all over the place. And often I wish it would. But the trouble is, it's never the ones you'd want it to be. Have you noticed? There's probably many names you can think of that you wouldn't mind being squashed by a giant cartoon foot, or worse. Why does Matt Hancock always spring to mind? You, Matt Hancock, a cricket bat, and a soundproofed, darkened room. Just think of the possibilities. But it's never the ones you want it to be. I hear there's a new version of Cluedo coming out soon, actually. It was Matt Hancock in the nursing home with the Midazolam. So it's just missed opportunities all the time. I mean, how about this? These three together in a room. Where is a spontaneous roof collapse when you need one? What about these two? Where is a gas mains leak and a carelessly discarded cigarette? Never happens when you want it to. Missed opportunities all the way. Got Bill Gates there, and one of the most entertaining things for me during the COVID era was hearing Mark Passio. Anyone familiar with the work of Mark Passio? Yes. A few of you, yeah? I mean, Mark's a calm, well-balanced individual, you know, doesn't get upset. And he had a few choice words to say about Bill Gates. So, let's hope this works.
You're a little punk, bitch, insecure, button-dick little boy.
Doesn't mince his words. So Bill Gates pictured there with Sir Keir Starmer, go figure. And here's Keir Starmer in Parliament yesterday. I mean, not only does he look like Zippy from Rainbow, he bloody sounds like him as well. He also sounds like, it seems to me, a friggin' Dalek. With that nasally whine, doesn't he? Exterminate the indigenous English population. Missed opportunities all the way. Here's Bono receiving some kind of award from whatever that thing was that occupied the White House for 4 years. Struan Roger is his real name. You can look him up on IMDb. He played the role of Joe Biden for those 4 years. But, you know, just a little pull, a little bit tighter, and we'd have had a satisfactory result, but no, it didn't happen. How about this one? Quick swipe to the left, and that would have been a good result as well. How do you hold a sword when you've got Wall's pork sausages for fingers? And you know, a quick slice there, and we could have had a handy floor mop if you'd stuck it on the end of a pole. Brian May, you know, propping up agendas and pushing space nonsense and all that. So many of them do. There's Bono again, and his name always reminds me of a pet dog, you know, like a poodle or a lap dog, which is quite appropriate because he is a poodle for the New World Order agenda. It's like, Bono, come on, here boy, have a biscuit. Yeah, you've done well this week, propping up all this social engineering stuff. Stay away from those Chinese restaurants. And I did a bit of research actually, and I came to realise that Bono is actually Gaelic for cunt. It does explain a lot. And of course we have Bono's bestie, his mate Bob Geldof. And they've worked on many an agenda together. And people think Bob Geldof is a full-blooded Irishman like Bono. And actually, came to discover he's half Jewish. Geldof is a Yiddish name. He's Jewish on his maternal grandmother's side. Now you know why he's always asking everyone for their fucking money. Geldof is actually a Serb as well. Not quite sure how that works, given that he's not British, but he's part of the British honours system. And you know, he joins good company there, alongside Sir Ted Heath, Sir Cyril Smith, Sir Peter Morrison, Sir Clement Freud. As the late Rolf Harris might have said, there's a connection here somewhere. Can you tell what it is yet? And then of course there's Sir Jimmy Savile. Vile, disgusting, sickening abomination of humanity. Pictured here with Jimmy Savile. If you ever do run into Bob Geldof down the local co-op, you know, whatever you do, don't ask him, how's the family? He's not the luckiest in that regard. Lots of mysterious deaths, pretty high body count. I mean, there's a high body count in the music industry generally. Lots of unexplained deaths. There's death by bathtub. Large number of music makers who turn up dead in strange circumstances in the bath. Not something Bob Geldof ever has to worry about. And as well as death by bathtub, there's also the 27 Club in music, you know. Large number of music makers who turn up dead in some bizarre circumstance or other at the age of 27. Got the likes of Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, Robert Johnson, Kurt Cocaine, I like that name better, Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin, all dead at 27. Did some research and it turns out Ed Sheeran is 34. For fuck's sake. Talk about a missed opportunity. Sam Smith is 33. They, them, should never have had that curry before putting on that rubber suit at the Brit Awards. I was unfortunate enough to I have to go to hospital recently. This is it. I've been there for fucking ages. And to pass the time, for the first 3 hours, I thought I'd play a game. Spot the Caucasian doctor. So that passed a bit of time, and then spent another 2 hours trying to work out what the African and Asian doctors were actually saying to me. So yeah, that's about 6 hours down. Kalergi General Hospital was the name of it. Nice to be here by the seaside in Mablethorpe, nice little town. I live in a traditional English market town myself in West Oxfordshire. Nice little place. Lots of traditional family businesses, cottage industries, you know. This is my high street. And there's a lovely little hotel on the edge of town. Little boutique place. Here we are. Yeah, lovely. Everything's gone very woke and politically correct, hasn't it? Which is actually a construct of social engineering, the whole woke ideology. And it's filtered down into every aspect of our lives, particularly popular culture. We find it expressed there. For example, with the James Bond franchise, I hear when they reboot that and they bring James Bond back, this time he's going to be a black, disabled, Jewish lesbian. With an eye patch, a hearing aid, and a brain implant. Miss Moneypenny is now going to be known as Miss Crypto Coin. Q, oh, we fucking had enough of that in the last few years, haven't we? No need for Felix Lighter. He's just going to be Felix Vape from now on. And then, of course, there's Bond's arch-enemy, Blofeld. I mean, these days, if you want to watch a bloke stroking a white pussy, you've got to put the facial ID in first. So I'm told. This is me on the average day, thinking about the fact that Matt Hancock is still out there walking around a free man, doing his shopping in Waitrose on a Saturday, hanging around outside the church gates watching all the choir boys on a Sunday. Deeply unfair. But life is unfair. I get pissed off hearing from New Age spiritual types about things like karma. Because, don't know if you've noticed, but karma seems to work in reverse. Good people who try and do good things to help others and make the world a better place only ever seem to reap a whole world of shit in exchange for their efforts. Don't know if you've noticed. Whereas completely narcissistic, psychopathic, satanic shits who tread all over other people's rights and in pursuit of their own personal goals seem to get on just fine. Strange thing. Another thing I get tired of hearing about is manifestation and how that works. How you can manifest your own experienced reality as a result of applying your consciousness and your will and your intent to a situation. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. I've tried it. I could try right now manifesting all the ecstasy pills that I should have taken in the 90s when I was at all these clubs and raves, but I didn't because I was too much of a goody two-shoes and I was too afraid of the consequences. Wish I'd fucking done it now, like all the other people I knew were. I could try manifesting that. Instead, all I'd get is a caseload of midazolam from Matt Hancock and a bag of dried locusts from Klaus Schwab. I could try manifesting an in her prime 1980s version of Samantha Fox, Schoolboy Fantasy. I'd get the 2026 version. Not quite the same. To illustrate the absurdity of manifestation and how it doesn't actually work, a while back I devised what I refer to as my coffee shop analogy. I think this really makes the point. So imagine, you go into a coffee shop, you order a cup of coffee. The server refuses. You ask why. She says, you didn't ask in the right way. You go and speak for a coffee, you go into a coffee shop, you ask the server for a coffee, she refuses. You ask why. She says, you wanted it too much. You go into a coffee shop, you ask for a cup of coffee, she serves you a cup of tea. You say, I didn't want tea, I wanted coffee. She goes, you don't always get what you want. You ask what kind of sense this makes. She says, it's not her job to tell you, and you have to work it out for yourself. You go into a coffee shop, you order a cup of coffee, you get a cup of tea. Guy next to you orders a cup of coffee, he gets a cup of coffee. You ask how it's fair that he got coffee and you got a tea. She says, it's not her job to tell you, and you have to work it out for yourself. You order a cup of coffee, the server brings it over to you, she spills it on you. You get angry, she starts waving a judgmental finger. She says it's not her fault for spilling the coffee, it's your fault for getting angry about it. You ask what kind of sense that makes. She says it's not her job to tell you, and you have to work it out for yourself. 1 million people walk into a coffee shop wanting a coffee. The server is nowhere to be seen. That is my darkly bleak observation on the science of manifestation and how effectively it works. Right now, I'm going to try and manifest for myself a nice cold beer from the bar. I think it's that time of evening. So I want to thank everyone for listening to both this and the presentation before it, and I'll just leave you with this, which is a favourite parting message of mine. Thanks for listening.